Welcome everybody to the allotment committee meeting on Tuesday the 12th of April 2026, and any apologies?
That's May.
It is May. I am very sorry. Yes. we'll start again. Yeah, thank you about that. There is one, isn't there? Yeah. So any apologies?
Nope, not received.
Okay, so hopefully we've updated the date there. Declaration of interests. Yes. Bill?
Got number 2 on 10th Street. You said for a notice.
Yes.
It'd be on the whole grass.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all the everything. You just spin grass.
Okay.
Cool.
I've got it to follow up.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, minutes of the last meeting. We need to approve those. Move the minutes. Is there a second? So Ian moves the minutes, and we've got Michael as the second. There's nobody here for the public forum. Have we had any questions or letters?
No, not as far as I know.
So we'll move on immediately to item 6, and it's the allotment inspections. We've got a report.
Yeah, so it's just a spoken report really. We've been to all the sites. On a whole, everything's been fine this year compared to last. You agree?
Yes.
Yeah, we've sent out a couple of notices on Carry Lane from a couple of people who've not been up and totally just disregarded the plots. Other than that, there's been about 3 letters sent out to improve. That's it. Everyone else has been okay. Yeah, especially up at Alkin Courts this year. Every plot is okay.
That's great. That is good. Okay, so there was a survey that we did, and we've got some results from that. So Leah, did you want to speak about that? Can we go on to the survey first, if you don't mind, and then come back to that?
Yeah, of course. So I've kind of noted everything down really. The only things we need to discuss is the suggestions at the bottom about having 1 skip per year at Alkin Courts, which I know is a separate issue right now, but that's to decide if we are to have one out of the budget yearly. What does everybody think?
And how much will it be?
Skips are about £350.
Councillor Robinson?
Thank you, Chair. I think, look at the size of the site. I think this would be a worthwhile investment for getting rid of a lot of rubbish off the site. This has been, I think, over in Nelson, I'm talking about 30 odd years ago, they had the same issue with rubbish accumulating, etc., etc. Yeah. And the council provided a skip, and it actually worked. Now, I believe at that time they were looking at alternative funding to provide the skip. Sponsorship from businesses, etc. Maybe that could be a way forward instead of £100 of our own, is to find some entrepreneur who's willing to fund the cost of the skip once or twice a year.
Yeah, I can look into it. Yep.
There are a lot of people up at Alkin Courts allotment that are really pushing for that, really.
Yeah, well, I've kind of run into a real problem up at Alkin Courts this week, which I'm not happy about really. So I agreed to get a skip for 3 plots, the 3 plots that were split and were really overgrown. And I said, we will help you out. If you want to clear your plot, fill up some ton bags, put them at the bottom of the site on a certain day, and we'll pick them up. So we did do that, the 3 plots. Our lads picked everything up on Friday. Anyway, over the weekend, the rest of the site has fly tipped all the rubbish on the bottom of the site, thinking we're going to take it. We're not. So I've had.
So it had already been taken away once?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I thought, when I saw it, I thought they were waiting to take it away.
Yeah. So, the skip's full where it is, and everybody else is fly tipped. So I've had to write a letter to everybody saying, you'll have to remove your fly tip rubbish or else it'll stay till next year because there's no more budget for another allotment.
It was probable that they didn't really quite realise
Maybe not.
what was happening.
Mm.
Yes,
You might think there's a silly question. How many plots or plot keepers are there at Alkincoats?
30,
30.
yes.
So if we know it'll cost £350, can we not turn around and say, okay, we will supply, but you will pay a charge per plot?
Could suggest it.
At least that way, it's not £350 that we're paying, but it's like £35, £20, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah. But there is budget for one skip. Certainly at Alkincoats, maybe another skip elsewhere, but
Yeah. I'm saying if we could do that with the plot, at least then with the plot holders, they know what week it'll be there, when it'll be collected, and if whatever they put in, that's fine. If it's not in,
suggestion, yeah.
Bill, did you have a comment?
The guy who put the tree down on Newton Street, on his telephone, he's fairly cheap, he only costs £600 for the tree. Now he did use a favour.
Yeah.
He will also deliver anybody who wants the chickens to deliver them. Because he has to make it to them anyway.
Mhm.
And the logs, he has a Facebook page for anybody who wants them.
Yeah, send me stuff, yeah.
He was in very polite, still call work.
Mhm.
And all of the web was straight up neat and tidy.
Nice. Yeah, definitely do, yeah.
Has anybody else got anything about the skips? Yeah.
Yeah. For everybody, no. Yes, starting from next year. Once a year. I'd probably have to get the skip delivered to site and have it picked up the next day. It'd have to, yeah, to avoid it overflowing, I think. So that's the suggestion anyway. If
And
everyone would be. Yeah, if I think any longer than a day it'll be overfilled, then we've got to pay the extra payment.
and will that be for everyone on site?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, Andrew.
yes, Chair, that's what I was suggesting was then plots on that site, if they want to get rid of rubbish or whatever, the greens or whatever it is, that if they're all happy, then we split the charge between all of them to get the skip.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether that'd work though, that everybody would pay. I think you'd be in a situation where some would pay and some won't
Yeah.
pay. But then they still might put stuff in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I presume the word got out about the skip because it's not come from me. So I think one of the 3 plot holders I offered to help have told everybody else. And yeah.
I think it was probably a legitimate mistake,
Yeah.
and yeah, we need to be a little bit clearer on who can and who can't use the skip.
Well, the 3 people knew it was for them. That's what I mean. It was kind of.
yeah,
I would
but-
have sent out a message
yeah.
saying the skip's for everybody. But so it is a problem. And if nobody removes that rubbish, then I can't do anything about it.
yes,
Yeah, if nobody's going to remove their fly tip and it is obviously it's come from the allotments, then we just charge the allotments and say, if it's not removed by a certain date, we will charge each allotment a percentage of what it costs us. So if it costs us £350 to remove it,
I don't think that's really fair on other people that, you
But
know,
if it's
if,
like-
if 2 or 3 people have dumped it all and then you're charging the other 30,
Yeah.
I don't
If
think
you
that's going to go
if
down.
you give prior knowledge and say, if it's not moved, this is what we're going to do, then you're giving that chance to remove it first.
let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm loath to do that.
The problem with that though is we are paying for it then.
Yeah.
It's
you're
a
right.
small budget.
Yeah.
So somebody's got to pay for it. We take it out of our small budget, or we break that price down amongst them. and say, we'll give you 3 weeks notice, and say, right, please, if it's yours that you've done there, please remove it. If it isn't removed, we will do a blanket charge to have it removed. Because I think at that point you give plenty of notice, and if they say we're not happy with it, in this case, well, you're also allotment holders. Then who's got to pick the bill up?
I know, yeah.
So is there a proposer on that or more comments? Yeah.
I was going to say, Chair, could I make a 2-part proposal? One, that we provide a skip at the end of the growing season next year, which is what I think you were saying. And the second part, the contracts allotments officer look into the possibility of external funding for the skip.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
that.
I mean, like this year, for example, in my skips budget, I've got £1,350 to spend. So that's already taken a big chunk out. Just this one skip. We've got a big land clearance to do at South Valley because we're acquiring some land. It's not enough money to.
Yeah, I'll make them as a proposal then.
Bill.
Buy a skip.
No.
Would it not be?
Oh, I see. As a committee, it's the problem of where it would go, I suppose.
That's a big fucking cost.
There's some strange rules about skip. Yeah. We've just got a license for it to go on one side. It's a bit.
There's a space where all the rubbish is.
Yeah.
That's where we get the wood chip
Yeah.
delivered and
Yeah.
whatever.
Why didn't
So,
get it
and
there?
people walk past and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There has been a proposal. Would you like to second it? Okay. All in favour? Would you like to reiterate the proposal?
Yeah, a 2-part proposal. Part 1, that a skip be provided at the end of the growing season this year. And the second part, that the allotments contracts obviously look at the feasibility of external funding for the skip for Elkin Courts.
All in favour? So 2, or anybody against? And we've got 1. Okay, so that's passed.
Okay. The other suggestion was communal compost and manure locations for all allotment sites. In hindsight, it's a good idea, but where it would go.
Yes, Councillor Robinson.
Yeah, I remember, I'm going back a long way to the 80s, Hodge House allotments at Nelson. They actually did this, and they had words with, it was then Borthwick's, the stockyards, and they would deliver virtually for no price at all a lorry full of manure, which would then be left for 12 months to rot away to be used on the allotments. And the allotment holders all paid a minimal cost for the use of it, and it worked perfect. It was really good manure, grew the best veg going.
It's a good idea. I just don't know where.
Bill?
To follow on from that, 1 year, the farmer had been using some fertiliser or whatever on his field, the horse and cow was taking it, passing through, and every crop died.
Okay.
Every single crop failed from
Vicky, have you got anything to say on this?
I think we used to have a joint one at the top of Alkin Courts, where there was the garage thing. I don't know. Yeah, from at the end of your Colne Bloom bit, at the end of there, that was a communal one. But I don't think it's not really been used since we stopped having our own thing, since the council took it over. So there's probably would be room for it maybe up there.
The majority of the allotment holders compost their own.
Most
Most
people,
of them
most
will do
people
their own
compost their
compost.
own. Yeah, I mean, I'd got 3 on the go.
Yeah.
But,
So shall we do a site by site agreement on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, see what the allotment holders want, and we'll move on with that. Okay.
Okay.
Can we move on to allotment updates?
Yeah. So we had the tree that fell into the foot of Alkin Court's allotment. That's been a really big job to clear up. So we had that cut. Our lads put the new fences up. So that's done. That was a really big, I did before and afters on that. Because that was a really big issue. Luckily it didn't fall onto a house, but it wasn't far off falling onto it. The 2 vacant plots we had, they've gone, and the split plot on Alkin Courts has been taken on. She's made a lot of moves already to clear it up. And so you've got a copy of the new allotment budget. I know you've only seen it today, so you might not have too much time to go through it. It was only ready yesterday. And then we've got a new livestock consent request on Alkin Courts, which is Christine, who's taking on next to the stables. What do we think for 6 hens?
6 hens, which we have agreed in our policy, is fine. And it's a suitable site. Yes, Councillor Robinson.
Thank you. Is the applicant fully aware of the registration of bird regulations?
Yes, she is.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
And are you happy? Have you inspected the site and that and
Yeah.
deemed it to be suitable for the keeping of poultry?
I think so. If everybody else does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think should
Right,
look
no.
after them perfectly.
Yeah, I agree. I
You'll
propose that.
propose that. Is there a seconder on that one? Councillor Bell, and all in favour?
That was it for updates, really. Is there anything you want to go through on the budget?
Can I just ask you a little bit about the South Valley situation with the wall
Yes.
at the top of that allotment site?
Yeah, it's ready now, as of a couple of days ago, to fence off. So we just need to send our lads up to mark out, and he's going to move his own fence. We've moved our allotment fence. We've cut the 2 trees down this week, so
Right,
it's ready.
thank you.
And we are acquiring some new land on South Valley too, which is at the end of the new plots that I got made. Morrow Homes are gifting it to us, so that should be going through in a few weeks. That'll create 2 or 3 more allotments. Yes. We will need to clear it though. That's a bit of a problem.
Councillor Bell? Sorry, I can't quite hear.
Sorry, I thought I switched it on. I'm just saying, I am aware that Colne Area Committee was looking at donating some land to the allotments committee on South Valley. Just wondering if there's an update on that yet.
I don't know anything about that.
Do you know?
No.
Well, that's a surprise.
No.
Because Councillor Sarah Corbyn Price and her husband, Councillor
Yeah.
David Corbyn Price, several months ago, they were proposed that some land was to be blocked off, and they said, "We've got a better idea. We'll give it to the allotments, or you turn it into allotments for the town council."
Yes.
So that is a
I'd
few
love
months
to
ago.
that.
So I will endeavour to find out what meeting that was, because it would be an asset transfer. Because they said they would also put somebody towards it for fencing.
Brilliant.
I'm surprised that the allotment committee has not been made aware of it.
No, not at all.
Okay, sorry about that.
Well, that would be very good. We'd like some more there, wouldn't we?
Okay, I'll chase that up for you.
Thank you.
Okay, and just move on to the waiting list updates.
Nothing really to report at all. A few new people have come on. That's about it. We've got about 30 people waiting at the moment. Yes, got more people coming on.
That's great. Well done. So we'll move on back to the allotment agreement. I just changed the order as this might take a little bit more time. Hopefully you've got your agreement and you've had a little look through. Obviously, the yellow parts are the parts that have been included or changed. So if you would like to have a look at that and any comments for the first one, which is 4.3. The inclusion of fruits, vegetables, herbs and flowers. Councillor Bell?
Yeah. Could we, you're going to hate this, but it says herbs and flowers. Can we put herbs and or flowers? Yeah, it's just how it reads.
Yeah.
Because you've got the commas behind fruits, vegetables. But when you get to herbs, it sounds like herbs and flowers only.
Yeah, that's fine. I just went back on our old minutes, by the way, to add these things in.
Yeah.
What we've already discussed, but there might be some more which.
So you're looking at for the production of fruits, vegetables, herbs or flowers. And or. I was going to say yes, and or.
Yeah. It just gives it that.
We don't want them to think that they can do just flowers.
Yeah.
Okay. And then over the page, it's 13. Barbed wire is not permitted to use on any part of the allotment plot or site. Councillor Bell?
Sorry, I feel like I should be sitting on that side of the room. Can we just change the grammar slightly to barbed wire is not permitted to be used on any?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're welcome, Ian.
And then we've got 21.
The last bit was added with of Bill's advice last time to help offset the allotment upkeep.
Yeah. I think we might need an extra comma in that. It is quite a long sentence as well. Will be allowed, comma, on a non-commercial basis, comma, to family and friends only.
Can I make an amendment on that one slightly?
Yes.
Can I, where it says will be allowed to be traded, that to be traded between allowed and on, so that it would read, however, produce grown on the allotment plot will be allowed to be traded on a non-commercial basis to family and friends only.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better.
It's a bit more clarity then.
Yeah. Okay, everybody happy with that? Yes. Okay, I'll speak a little bit louder into it. Is that better? Yeah. And then the last point on section 4, bonfires are not permitted from the 31st of March to the 31st of October. Outside of this period, bonfires will only be permitted with special approval from the contracts officer or allotment committee. Sorry.
It used to be 29, never mind, not 2 days.
There was some controversy again up at Alkin Courts with fires because someone got permission, but then other plotment holders complained. So have to be careful.
I don't know whether every allotment has got a Facebook page and whether we can actually put something out or create a
No,
Facebook
I don't think they have, and I've got a Facebook page, but I don't often, you know, it's not, I don't check it every day to see if there's anything from the allotment. So I presume other people are the same, and especially some of the older ones that
Yes, yeah.
I don't think they have them.
Councillor Bell?
Sorry, I really should move over there. Bonfires are not permitted from 31st of March to 31st of October. Can we change that slightly? So to bonfires not permitted between 31st of March to 31st of October.
Yeah. No problem.
Or whatever days are clarified. It just puts it.
Are we happy with that 31st of October? If, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bonfires will only be permitted with special. This was something I brought up a number of years ago. Especially on Temple Street where I am, and I agreed only to burn on a wet, windy day. Obviously, no washing out. I'm surrounded by houses, obviously, and it was agreed that I could burn on a wet, windy day, providing I use my loaf. I've only had one complaint on that.
I think you'll find on the next allotment guide, allotment plot holders guide, that it does say do not set bonfires on wet and windy days. So I'm not sure how that will correspond with our agreement there. I think if we just have special approval, that would be better than saying you can just go ahead when you feel like it. Vicky?
Especially at Alkin Courts, because it's 30 people. So if everybody's just taking it when they can, it's just a nonsense, really. Yeah. Neighbours wouldn't like it.
Yeah. Councillor Bale?
Everybody knows. Looking what we've just been going through for the allotment agreements, can we ensure that any changes we've just done are copied into the plot holders guide as well?
Yes.
Because I've just read section 5, right? It's the same, right? Same statement, should we say?
Yeah.
Okay. So are we all happy that it should only be permitted with special approval from the contract officer or the allotment committee? You might want to put the allotment committee.
Yeah.
Are you proposing that from the chair?
Are we happy?
Well, if you're proposing from the chair, I'll second.
Second it. And all in favour? Okay. Yes.
The question really should have been, is Ian happy?
Say again?
The question should have been, is Ian happy?
I'm always happy.
Sorry, Mr. Grumpy.
Right, okay, so is that everything on there?
Yeah, unless there's any
Any
new suggestions.
any other suggestions about anything that hasn't been highlighted in yellow that needs to be changed or updated? Yes, Councillor Robinson.
I'm going to be grumpy again. No, it's always got me on this with the agreement, because we got a tricky situation. It's okay having this where it says here to use the plot as an allotment garden as defined by section 22, blah 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 blah, which is wholly and mainly cultivated by the occupier. We have allotments which are not, which we've allowed. Now, there's always a danger that at some point somebody with an allotment that where this isn't, where this is enforced, could turn and argue, well, why have you got a two-tier system? Why are some people are allowed to use theirs as a garden and we're not?
Yeah, I agree.
And that, now I think the confusion has always been the classification of allotments, because this does apply to a statutory allotment. All statutory allotments have to comply with this. We do not have statutory allotments. We have temporary allotments. And with a temporary allotment, you can apply this, or you can impose your own rulings. So I think we need to, at some point, to try and work a way to word this so that we don't end up in a situation where we've got a two standards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I can understand, the garden plots will be sold off in a few years. Well, not sold, kind of.
Given
You
to
kinda
the
given, yeah.
to the homeowner.
Homeowners. Yeah.
Yeah.
So unless we redo everything in 3 years, maybe. Because that will be Knots Lane, Castle Road,
Will that be 2 years now?
2.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Councillor Bell.
Yeah, I'm just looking at paragraph 2, or sorry, section 2. From how it's been written, that would be there'd be no price change at all.
I do believe that the price is going up
So I
every
would,
year now.
I would look at possibly changing that where it says the rent shall be at the rate of.
Do they get this agreement renewed each year?
No.
No. So we might need to.
That will definitely have to be looked at, because
Renew
otherwise they can turn around and say, that's my agreement. It doesn't say it's going up. We need to have,
Yeah, I need clarification on that because everybody needs a full year's notice.
Yeah.
I'd have to send out the notices in September with the new invoices, so I do need to.
I would look at changing that
something.
paragraph then, or that section number 2.
Well, if it's going up yearly, then yeah. you're right.
Yeah, because I believe that we did discuss it at full council last year that it would go up each year incrementally.
We
Yeah.
do have a fearful lot of poor pensioners, you know. We can't afford these increases because our pensions are not going up the same way.
But you can trade with friends and family
Yeah,
on a non-commercial basis.
maybe they'll accept some beggars rent.
Mm,
We'll try that.
mm.
You can get most of mine.
Yeah.
It's just that if we leave it at that, it just means that next year they can turn around and say, well, my contract said
Mm.
this. And that's,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I need clarification.
we need to have a reword it, or
Yeah.
I'll probably have to rewrite that whole first paragraph, I think.
what, section 2?
Yeah, to include about it going up yearly.
Yeah.
Mm. If that has been agreed.
Don't know.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know what's been discussed at full council.
I'd actually look at bottom of the last sentence in item 1 there. Sets, whatever it will be set at each year. And then underneath, if you're having the price there, it will be until the next increase, which will be notified.
Yeah.
I think it's something we have to look, at least people that wear it, then they're not just going to get a shock.
How much is it going up by?
Don't know.
Oh, well, we're not sure. Oh, so we'll have to investigate that.
But you've got to give us so much notice, haven't you?
Yes.
1 year's notice.
A year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it'll be September next year.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll send letters out this September to notify the increase.
You won't be popular. I'm only stirring it, like I normally do.
Yeah, but if they put your rent up each year, they might be able to afford a Kit Kat for a committee.
Ginger biscuits.
Yeah, so they have to put your rent up. So
Oh,
we can
yeah,
have a-
I agree.
Right, okay. Is there anything else on that allotment agreement?
Just going back to when you were talking about the garden, are you talking about those specific plots which are sort themselves? Or we're talking about people not using the allotments as they should do?
Some allotments have in their agreement that they are garden allotments, aren't they? And some of them back on to their houses.
And those
So
are the-
there's no way of using that allotment apart from the household owner.
You were saying that's going to sort itself out.
Hopefully we will be able to sell those that can't be used by anybody else. Is that
Yeah.
our policy?
Yeah.
Our understanding? Yes, Vicky.
It's just what we were talking about earlier about rubbish being removed, and it does say that when you leave, you're supposed to take your rubbish with you.
Yeah.
But on
Yeah.
all the plots,
Nobody
they're
does
all
it.
just left a mess. So it's it's really sad for the people that take them over because they
Yeah.
have so much
Yeah, yeah.
so much to get rid of. So
Yeah.
maybe in future, maybe that will be a thing
I
you
al-
could address.
I always do, but I have no power to
Ah,
issue fines or anything.
no.
I don't even think Gina has the power to do it.
We did, a long time ago, discuss that there should be an amount of money that is paid up front so that we can afford to use that to offset any problems. And this might be something that we can discuss at the next allotment meeting. I think it was going to be about £50 that
think it
people would pay in addition to their rent,
Like a holding fee.
like a holding fee.
Yeah, I've
Yes.
discussed it with Gina before, but there's all sorts of legalities about holding a deposit in deposit safe accounts, like rental people do. There's a lot of tape with it. Yeah,
That's what you can use it for.
yeah, and keeping it safe. It's got to be in some kind of deposit safety scheme.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've had my plot for 20 years now.
Yeah.
So you were keeping my money for 20 years.
where is it gonna go
Yeah.
safely?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, Councillor Bell.
I mean, if you were going to look at something like that where there is a small incremental charge just for administration for, i.e. weeding or for going out and clearing up, the only thing you can do is put a charge on it separate, which says it's an admin fee or a management fee or something like that for upkeep.
Mm.
Because I know with Together Housing, you've got the rent, you've got the management fee, but then there's a ground fee as well,
Yeah.
which they say, well, it's to pay for the communal gardens that get cut. It's for the communal areas that even if you don't have it, they still have these areas to look after.
Yeah.
And it's a small percentage of the full rent.
Mhm.
So that may be something to look at where we can turn and say, well, if that's what we're charging for rent for the properties, you can have say, right, we'll put like 1% is going into that pot or something along them lines. I don't know the full figures.
Councillor Robinson.
Thank you, Chair. It's going to be difficult because at the moment, when you rent an allotment, I believe there's a £50 fee to pay up front on top of your rent.
Setup fee.
Setup
Yeah.
fee as well. And if then you're turning around and going to people, especially those on benefits, and people forget that the idea of allotments is to encourage people on low income to grow their own food. Well, people and poor, destitute pensioners who are struggling to feed themselves.
Thank you, Michael.
And asking them to fork out £50, bad enough, and then saying, "Oh, on top of that, you have another 100, another £50."
Yes,
I know it's
And
it's a lot.
it's gonna, and a lot of people are going to say, "Well, we can't afford it," and those are the people we really need to bring into the allotments.
Yeah, Councillor Bell.
I will retain what I said about having like an admin fee, like a small percentage, but I believe that Councillor Ian there has found a rather large community of people that like gardening that could actually go out and clear up gardens and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's found a
If
workforce.
anybody wants it, yeah.
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 Brilliant.
It's only tongue in cheek, by the way. It's one of those. What do we do? We're caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, there's no budget for any kind of clearance.
Yeah.
So
the only thing we can do is ask volunteers from, as we keep being told, our destitute gardeners if they want to come and work for a cup of tea, maybe.
Yeah, I'd always have work for them.
Kettle's always like in my fault.
Absolutely.
This has been our issue at Alton.
Oh.
We've had willing people to clear, but
Yeah, but would this then, because I've talked about this in the past, and you mentioned this and straight away, we'd love the volunteers. We can't use them because of insurance. They have to have a member of staff with them every day, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
And I think that's in this day and age is ridiculous. You know, a group of adults who know what they're doing should be allowed to clear, you know, to work voluntarily. But say the councils will turn around and go, no, they're not insured. We can't afford the insurance, therefore.
It's very
Well,
difficult. Yeah.
Just to answer Ian's statement there, but if each allotment area was to set up they've got their own group and say, well, next week we're going to look at, I know we're busy on our own plots, next week's going to be a quiet day, do you fancy coming up and helping? If the allotment holders did that, I know, tongue in cheek.
We used to do that at Alkin Courts when we ran it ourselves. We used to have weekends for clearing up, and we had bacon and egg and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, we got together. But when the council took it over, it's like, well, you want to run it, you run it.
Actually, on
Councillor
that,
Robinson?
yeah, on that, it's strange because I believe that Nelson don't have an allotments officer.
No, they don't.
No, I know. But what they've done, they've continued with, if you want, the old system, when we used to have just one allotments officer covering the whole of Pendle, and each allotment set up its own committee to, if you want, run itself. And they're still doing that in Nelson. Though they've got officer support, technically, to deal with any issues, etc., they run that plot, that allotment site, on their as a committee, and they organise. You just said they organise clean-up days. They can organise a communal skip. And I believe at Hodge House at one point had a hut that they used, and they actually had a shop in the hut, so they could buy think like bloodborne and meal and that in bulk. And it should then sell to the allotment holder at a lot cheaper price. And it works. So could we not maybe at some point think of bringing that system back into Colne?
I would more than welcome that, but nobody's ever come forward.
So
to say
if
they want
we
to do
we
that.
put that on the
Yeah.
next agenda.
Yeah, because it's a lot of work allotments as well as my other three
Yeah.
job roles.
And
so-
you know, obviously you've got like White Grove, which is an allotment of one. You can't do it, but I'm thinking like especially at Alkin Courts, and maybe Kerry, if we join Kerry Lane and Broken Banks together as one for this purpose, and maybe South Valley, we could have a small little, yeah,
Yeah.
like the community, yeah.
Bill,
I was in Hodge House on Sunday. The shop used to be open 10 till 11, second Sunday of the month. They've got a new man in charge now. He's open 9:30 till 12 every Sunday, and his telephone number's on the door. If anybody wants him out of his own hours, he will gladly come down. They've now got chicken food in. If anybody's interested in chicken food, which is cheaper than I can buy it, or I only buy one bucket at a time, but it is still cheaper than where I can buy it. And they've all sorts.
brilliant.
It works. It's really good
At the
system.
moment, they've got bone meal, £1 for 2 kilos.
Wow, that's good.
Really.
Councillor Bell?
I like what Councillor Ian was saying, but I think Nelson might have to watch out in about a year and a half time when LGR comes into effect, and Nelson has, as it's been reported to me, that pretty much ineffective, as in officer wise, because they just don't have the staff, that they may end up losing their allotments, because if it's taken off by the new unitary, there's no guarantee they'll keep the allotments going.
No.
So that's something they've got to be really taken into consideration. Because if you look at Alkin Courts, which I believe Alkin Courts belong to the town council now, because they've taken on that land responsibility. If we just turn around and say, "Well, you do whatever you want," that's fine. But when the issue they've got now is when they've got the unitary coming up, because currently Nelson hand everything responsibility to the borough. In 18 months' time, the borough's gone.
Yeah.
So it's got to be.
Old.
So you've got to be careful what we look at proposal and say, look at that. They've got a great system, but that great system might not be in place in 2 years' time.
No, the system's still good. We're not Nelson because we're efficient, we're organised, and we know what we're doing.
Do you?
I think so. That's what my unicorn told me.
Oh, that's right then.
But no, I'm saying I think that would work. It'd take a lot of work from especially from Leah's shoulders. You know, she's having because of budgetary constraints, having to do so many different jobs. It frees up a lot of time, and I'm sure Vicky will agree. In the old, it worked, didn't it? The committee system actually worked at Alkin Court.
It did, but I don't know whether you get any volunteers. I would do it again. I mean, I didn't know.
What will that come in here?
I have people, oh, you're on the allotment committee all the time. So if we ran that, it'd be even, even more.
I
so.
know that there was a request from Alkin Coates to take over one of the poor in condition sites to make it into a community allotment. Now it has been taken over, so there's no problem there. So if there was a groundswell of people like that, then hopefully they could come together and do something like Councillor Robinson mentioned. And I also believe that if it's allotment holders who are doing the work, then the insurance issue doesn't
Yes.
apply.
Right.
And so it would be a lot better if people could do it themselves in a way.
Yeah.
Yes, Vicky.
When we had it, I think we had to buy insurance. I think we had some insurance that we paid for.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I've still got all my notes and things like that from it. But anyway, Derek could probably know.
Yeah,
Well,
Councillor Bell.
I was going to say we will already have public liability.
Yeah.
So if we've already got public liability, we don't need to buy any more insurance because we've already got the public liability.
You'll need to speak to Gina on
It's
that.
Gina.
That's I know when I've just been hearing they have to get insurance, but if it's on our land and they're voluntarily doing work on that land at the moment, I mean they pay rents for that area, then surely that it was obviously on their own plot. They don't have to have their own liability if somebody comes to visit them, but we do have liability on that area as a whole. Because if somebody's on the access path that we own, we have to have it. So I think that insurance side of it, I think that's pretty much covered, should we say?
We'll speak to Gina
Yeah,
on that.
I think that would be something to have a discussion with.
Yeah.
But I think it's an idea, even if we do speak to like you say, if you've got an area which has got one allotment, it's no point speaking to them and say, do you want to be in a committee of one? But if you've got, like you say, here you got 30, and say, would you like to create your own subcommittee of all yours that you can arrange where any works need doing that's communal, which is for the benefit of all the holders, but we still have issues where if they have representation, which we do have here already, that comes in front of the council bit to say this is what we've done, this is what we're looking at doing, and if we say, well, okay, we're looking at getting a skip or whatever, so it's that liaison side. It creates a larger bond, should we say, rather than the individual plot owners giving it, well, nothing seems to happen, nothing seems to work, why don't they do this? If they have their own subcommittee like that, they've got their own voice, which can be brought here, with the liaisons, and it's a two-way street.
Sounds good.
But I thought what we was talking about originally was plots being left in a bad state.
Sorry,
And how to cope with that.
Could
there-
you switch your...
I thought we were talking originally about plots that have been left in a bad state. Now, these people obviously are not going to be all that community orientated. If you've got it down here in the contract when they sign it, that you have an obligation to leave it in a reasonable state, could we not do something like that? If you had you're supposed to, it's inspected and then it's supposed to be in a certain state. And if not, you'll be susceptible for the charges to just clear it up. Because they do have an obligation in the contract.
I've spoke to it about with Gina in real depth, and it's kind of how do you enforce somebody to clear it with no punishment
I'm
at the
saying
end of it.
if they don't,
Yeah.
we inspect it and say it needs clearing and they don't, we do it, and then there will be a charge for doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to. I think it'd be a solicitor
The,
written
the,
contract.
the problem is that people take it that's already a mess,
Mm.
and then they're trying to clean it up, and they never get totally.
No,
They never get it totally
No.
done. So, and
No.
then if they leave,
Mm.
because with some of them, they just think it's too much. I've taken on too much.
Yeah,
And it's still, the things are there that they haven't brought. They've just inherited them
from 20 years
someone
ago
else.
sometimes. Yeah,
Exactly.
I know.
So in some ways it's a bit unfair.
It is. I know it's
You know
not
what
really
I'm
an answer
No.
for that, is there? It's, I don't know, an ongoing issue.
Okay, so shall we move on? If anybody else has got anything other than the allotment agreements that we've talked about?
I've been asked about a competition for the allotments, you know, for like we've had in the past.
Well, best kept.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah, we did say we agreed, didn't we? We just need to.
Yeah. I think it would
Set it
be
out.
an absolutely fantastic idea, personally. We used to have them before COVID, and there are some excellent allotments. What I suggest, though, is that everybody is entered, because it began to be like there was like fewer and fewer and fewer people that wanted to put their allotment forward. So if everybody's entered and everybody's invited, and maybe everybody gets something, and we have pie and peas, I think that's something that we should do. And maybe in October, after the growing season.
You know how you used to go around and take photographs of the plots beforehand?
Oh yeah,
So even if they don't want to enter, they've got it there.
Yeah,
You've got the
yeah.
photograph.
Mm.
And they
Well-
might win. Who knows?
yeah. While we were doing the allotment inspections, I got a few photos of the plot holder and standing by, whatever it was, onion sets, and that's fantastic. We also had a photo competition as well, didn't we? So that's something else
The barrel
that
of beer
is
never arrived.
quite
though, did
nice
it?
to do.
The barrel of beer never arrived.
Councillor Bell.
Yeah, so you're looking at best kept.
Yeah.
You're looking at great best improvements.
Hmm.
Are you then looking at what kind of produce they've produced?
I think this is all for discussion, perhaps at
Yeah, so
another
it's just the
meeting.
last 5 minutes. I'm
Yeah,
just wondering if this
Yeah,
is
it's all
this
those
kind of thing.
category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think you want to go too far and do 9,000 different categories. It's
No.
like a flower show. I mean, it's nice that if no one can recognise,
Yeah.
you know, if they've created flowers, if they've done a various a decent
I
crop.
think there was about 5 categories, wasn't there?
Not too sure.
So,
There used to be a big allotment show at Municipal Hall when I were a lad. We were a long while ago, but yeah, it were always full.
right, okay, so shall we move on to the plot holders guide?
Plot holders.
There's 1 or 2 issues with this. I wonder whether we could make it more friendlier.
Yeah, it was something Eugene did that still
Yeah.
attached to the contract, so we can do whatever. to
I
change it.
think maybe a booklet with a little bit more pictures and
Yeah,
points
yeah.
and things like that. I mean, it's all the writing's all good, but maybe a little bit more bullet point.
Yeah, it's not handed out. It's just something that's on the website, but
Yeah.
probably could make it more user friendly. Yeah.
User friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And things like if you've taken on a large plot, you will be required to cultivate it. Does it matter that it's
No,
a
it doesn't,
large plot?
no,
So
no,
I think
yeah.
if we go through it on our own
Yeah.
and think about how we can make it a little bit more user friendly, particularly if Bill and Vicky.
I was going to say there was some nice pictures of our
Yeah.
just down the middle path, not where mine is, but the other path. It was really nice.
Yeah.
That was a really nice
Yeah.
allotment picture.
And we can
I don't know where you have it stored, but
include excellent allotments, what they should look like. So yeah, I think it just needs a little bit more.
Yeah, I can work.
tweaking.
I can probably ask Kaylee to help me out with it. Kaylee's really good at that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Just-
think it's when who's North Grant for that.
Yeah.
Because I just looked at run a large bonfire.
Yeah, it's looking at if you're going to light a better bonfire. And it says section 3, check the wind direction. Try to avoid lighting a bonfire if the wind is directly hitting your plot. I've never known wind decide to divert around one area. So,
There's issues with that.
Yeah, so I think, it definitely needs looking at rewording and like you say, make it more friendly, should we say, rather than tone of you will, you must, and do not.
So we could perhaps bring that to the next meeting.
Yeah.
Councillor Robinson.
Thank you, Chair. One word I've never ever liked in any kind of allotment thing. It says here, plots must be maintained in a weed-free cultivated state. There is no such thing as weeds. Could we just put down in a cultivated state?
yeah, we already changed that on the contract, didn't we?
Yeah,
Took the
because
weeds.
I'm just saying, there is no such thing as a weed,
Yeah.
just an unwanted plant.
Brilliant, thank you. So I think that's everything. Items for the future agenda. Anybody got any other items apart from the ones that we've just discussed? Councillor Robinson.
Go on, what Councillor Bell says, a competition.
Right,
Yeah,
yes,
we'll get the-
competition.
Maybe the judging week, get that down in black and white and how that's going to look, maybe.
Would we need to have another look at the plot holders guide to update it, or can that be done?
Yeah, we'll do that next.
Yeah, maybe I'll bring a template that Kaylee does for me and we can add to it, maybe.
So we will conclude the meeting. And thank you all for coming. The next meeting will be, do you know?
It needs confirming because this one was delayed quite a little bit. Another one was due to go ahead in 4 weeks, which probably won't do. So I'll let you know.
Thank you.
You on holiday again?
No, I'm not aware.